Hey, we are Ryan and Mandy Kennedy, serving in Manokwari, Indonesia, thanks to you.
Yesus Pai Benoni, Duin Yodi, Ima Nyalew, Ima Yesi, Yesus Nungonungu Hanyenbu, Lewapi Wei, Hakmieti, Iba Tingma, Nundi Bebor.
We have the pleasure of distributing brand new audio Bibles in 3 newly recorded tribal languages. We work with the local pastors and 8 teams on the ground and keep track of their progress on maps. As of today, we have distributed 3 to 4 audio Bibles in 231 villages. This gentleman here is blind, and he learned about the audio Bibles from his pastor and youth pastor who received an audio Bible. And so now he gets to hear about Jesus day in and day out. Mandy and I also distribute Bible comic books. We have about 30 titles in 3 different languages written by previous missionaries. Here you can see the Pilgrim's Progress. Our goal is to flood the 400 villages that we have contacts in with Bible discipleship, comic books, Bibles, Bible resources, and everything under the sun. We're coming up with other books to be able to print and get into the hands of local leaders, teachers, tribal leaders, and anyone to teach the gospel and disciple the youth. We go in off-road, crazy areas, so pray for our safety and health. We keep track of the progress on the maps and love what we do. Here are some keychains we created to promote the listening of the audio Bible that you can download to your phone for free from anyone who has Wi-Fi connections in the city and then can return to their tribal villages. For those who live off-grid, we have these solar-powered audio Bibles that can be distributed 3 to 4 to each village. And people come from miles around, walking through muddy ground and unstable terrain just to get the chance to have an audio Bible to share with all the people in their village. Mandy's all-girl community center is flourishing. They get snacks, and they learn about morality, and they are in a safe environment to be able to just be girls. These girls have learned to trust and absolutely adore Mandy Kennedy. I love you. Can you say, stop? Can you go like this? 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 We have 2 beautiful little girls, and this one here happened to be named Serenity Kennedy. Oh, and I also teach at an Indonesian Bible college, where one of my favorite topics to talk about is the old is gone and the new has come. Welcome aboard. Over the next 5 years, we'll be getting the audio Bible, the Jesus film, the discipleship books, Bible books, evangelism, and discipleship materials into the hands of the rest of the 200 villages that still remain for the glory of Christ. Thank you very much, and that is the work that you're doing over there in Indonesia. So very, very happy to be able to be partnering with you and doing all this neat ministry overseas. It really is God's ministry that He's doing, and it's just flourishing, and we're just hanging in there and doing whatever we can to help God. Not that He needs help, but we're doing all that we can to help keep the resources in the Bibles and audio Bibles going for the people, and they love it. Hey, there you go. So, if anyone's wondering where Indonesia is located, it is inside this red circle, just north of Australia. But today I want to be able to preach on legacy. So legacy is something that is important throughout the New Testament and the Old Testament, always keeping the knowledge of God alive for the next generation and setting a good example for that. We see that in 2 Timothy 2:2, which we've all heard many times, and being able to teach the next generation about Jesus, so that that generation not only hears about Jesus, but that generation is able to share the gospel with the next generation. Hey, there you go. So, my legacy that I want to be able to leave behind is this one here on the screens. I want to be able to leave a legacy that people get to know about Jesus. They have the Bibles, they have the Bible resources, they have audio Bibles and different things like that. So if you're wondering what the audio Bible is, this is the device right here. It is easy to work. A lot of people over there don't read, they don't have Bibles, and those who do, they'd rather prefer to listen to the Bibles. So these here, we have these wonderful audio Bible devices provided by you guys. Thanks for doing that. And it's a simple concept. Turn it on. And the people get to hear Jesus in their own language, recorded for one of the first times. We did this about 6 years ago, but really keep pushing this to get it out to all these villages. Some villages that we work with, up to 400, about maybe 50 of them haven't even known about these audio devices yet. So we're getting these out to them. And it's solar powered, so that they're able to charge it with the sun and keep going. So I want to know, what kind of legacy do you want to leave as well? Do you want to leave a legacy with just, because things like money, it comes and goes. One generation uses it, the next generation gets lost. Buildings come and go. But a vibrant faith in Jesus Christ is a legacy that can never be eroded. So we don't just pass on intentions to the next generation, we pass on our habits. So one of the habits that my wife has is she loves to meet with the people from the neighborhood, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it may be, just to be able to minister to them. And I don't mean ugly as in face, I mean ugly as in like past sins, future, whatever, stuff like that. But I mean, she married me, so obviously she's happy with ugly people. So she loves building these habits into what she does as well. So these habits will then be able to minister to the next generation of kids and their kids in our village there, to be able to want to love Jesus and to be able to share Jesus with others too. Just like Aunt Mandy did. So they call her Miss Mandy. And they get to see how she shares the gospel with them, shares the gospel with the Muslim people, Christian people coming out of very dark backgrounds, Christian people in very dark, sinful situations right now. But we love them and we welcome them all anyways, because that's what Jesus would do. So I want you guys to be encouraged. What kind of legacy that you want to leave for the next generation? And are you starting those habits nowadays, so that those habits will be seen, that people will see those habits that will then lead to others realizing, you know what, this guy does the right stuff, this lady did the right things, and we love it, and I want to be like that when I grow up. Many times, a lot of people, they don't need to be pushed and shoved into doing the right thing. Sometimes they just need to see a good example from you as a good example for them to be able to say, you know what, I want to be like that person. And then they don't have to try to go online, and they don't have to try to figure out, how do I be good? How do I be nice? How do I be nice to this person? How do I be good here? They can see that example in you, and simply by seeing that example in you, they can realize, you know what? That's what I want to be like, and that's how I want to grow. And they can have ideas of how to share the gospel, how to love people, how to go out of their way to help people, because they see that in you. This is one of our maps here that we had to make for the tribal areas because they didn't have any maps of these villages at all these little squares are. Villages off-grid into middle of nowhere. I'll get to share a bit more later on after the service with some food and some fun, and we'll do some trivia questions and just have a good old time with that. So please stay for that afterwards. Because of you guys, we've gotten the audio Bibles in all these villages here that are marked with red. And my legacy that I want to leave is not just be able to impact one place or one time, but be able to continue to get these audio Bibles into all these different locations. And so to keep adding it up until it is completely full. So our goal is to get all these people, get these audio Bibles to all these places so that the people can learn about Jesus and grow and learn to love Him. And thanks to you guys, we are making that happen. So on this picture here, this is the legacy that we're hoping to leave, that people would not, at these different churches in these different areas, that they wouldn't remember me or my wife or my family or even so the church that sent us, but that they would remember Jesus and that they would grow in their relationship with Jesus. So if we never get remembered at all, fine with me, as long as they have the Bible and the knowledge of God to be able to carry on. I wanted to show you this clip here that kind of gives you an example of the importance of making a good handoff from one generation to the next and the importance that goes with it. So here, these talented Jamaican guys that are talented, the guy bringing the baton, pure muscle, strength, energy, and then you can see the next generation, the next guy that he's going to hand the baton off to is strong and ready to run as well. It's just that middle ground of handing off the baton. If we miss that step, then it doesn't matter what the next generation has in quality or talent or ability or any of that, because if they don't get to bring Jesus or the love of Jesus with them, then all those talents and abilities and time and everything that goes with youth and strength and energy is then wasted because they don't bring Jesus with them. And the thing is, they will not, a lot of the people in the next generation will not see Jesus in the culture. They won't see Jesus online and in different places, but the one place they will see Jesus is through you. And so I want you to know that you are a very important person to be able to carry on your faith in Jesus for the next generation by being a good example for them, by building good habits, and continuing that on there. So on this photo, you see here on the nope, yes, nope, there it is. On the right there, I'm teaching at a Bible college, and I am able to share the ministry with the guy that I have my arm over his shoulder. So he was a little kid when I was over there in Indonesia, and now he's grown up to be a graduate from the Bible college. And not only that, he's gone back to be able to teach at the Bible college. And I thought, this is amazing. Look at how great this success is. The one thing you don't notice on this photo, you see that little lady all the way to the left of where we're standing? So that little lady there, she's the one that made these connections work. It's easy not to notice from an outside perspective, but she's the lady that my mom was able to share the gospel with. That lady is now grew up teaching about Jesus, learning about Jesus, and continuing to help people learn about Jesus, and then train her children to grow up loving Jesus. And this is her son here that is graduating. So it goes to show that this lady is carrying on the work for the next generation by passing the baton from one to the next. And a lot of times we think to ourselves, yeah, I'll live for Jesus, but I don't think the other next generation will like it or want to or stuff, or they don't want to this and they don't want to that. But I want to encourage you to know that there are many in the next generation that want to love Jesus, want to know Jesus, and want to carry on His work to their schools and their colleges in amazing ways. For example, this little girl here, she enjoys getting to go visit her aunts and uncles in a village that's about 1 day's walk away. So she wants to go visit them, and on her shoulders there, she's carrying about 200 Bible comic books that she's taking to that next village, and she has joy and happiness and being able to have purpose in life. So she's not just staying at home and wondering what she's trying to say, I just want to be concerned about myself, or I just want to be doing this. But here she has the opportunity to be able to serve others. So I was working with, at our house there, I have 2 little girls, so we have lots of little girls from the community come over. They play with my 2 little girls and have a great time. And they were helping with folding stuff for the Jesus film, putting little pictures in the little audio Bible devices, how to use it and stuff. And we were passing this out. And I thought this was very nice of them, so I was going to give them ice cream and then get them a meal afterwards and stuff, so they loved that. But as they were doing it, I thought I was pushing them to hey, keep working to help me. And as I asked them, I said, why do you guys do this with a happy heart, though? I mean, a lot of people don't want to do this stuff. And the little girls said, we want to do this stuff because it gives us purpose. And I was just sitting there thinking, wow, Ryan, you got a lot to learn still here. But purpose is something that you can give to the next generation, a legacy that you can leave for people who can make a difference in eternity. And so it's not that you need to force the ministry, the work that you've done onto the next generation, but this is like a handoff that they can carry to for the next 30, 40, 50 years of their lives, which gives them purpose. I know how many people that I know of, we live near New York City, all the work that's done, and then the 9-to-5 job, and the job that just consumes your life, may even ruin your marriage, and all these other things. But none of that has purpose beyond just making money, paying the bills, finishing that job, to which we all have to do, and we all have to get done, which is correct. But many people do all that without purpose of helping heaven, helping the kingdom grow for Jesus. And so my encouragement would be, don't let our next generation just do the 9-to-5 job. We all have to do the work, we all have to do the job, and that's correct. But don't let them just do the 9-to-5 job with no purpose in life, but to be able to give them purpose of being able to what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, and how that is going to help the gospel spread to the next generation, whether it be in America or in other countries. These people here, they're just walking. They're happy to take these Bible resources on their own. I didn't have to pressure them or push them. They show up and they say, hey, listen, Ryan, you've gotten audio Bibles to these 10 villages over here. But I know that my aunt and uncle live in this other region about a day's walk away who have 6 villages, and they don't have any Bible resources or audio Bibles at all. And so they say, you gave Bibles to that group. Can you give Bibles to us so that we can take it to these other 6 villages? At which point I say, no, not at all. No, just kidding. Yes, we'd love to give you the audio Bibles and the Bible books that then they're able to take to these villages. Look at these guys walking barefoot. They're carrying rice so that they can eat it halfway along the journey. And the one thing you notice that's not in this photo, which is a good thing, is me. Because we don't want the next generation waiting for me or us or them or someone to lead the way. We want them to be leading the way. And so here I got the audio Bibles over to this one group because of you guys at this church, and now these people come, and this is a younger generation now, and they want to take it to places that we can't go. Can you imagine me walking down those places in these shoes, tripping? Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I have gone down those. I took the photo. No. These people love Jesus, and they want to carry this on to the next generation. And not only will we be able to carry a legacy of Jesus to our generation, but then once we're reaching the senior age, once we're in retirement and stuff, there's only so much more we can do. But the neat thing about legacy is that we just don't leave it for our next generation. We leave it for them to give to the following generation. So it keeps on going. So this little kid here, so this young lady, and then her brothers and sisters that carried these resources deep into the jungle region, they knew the importance of what they were doing, and they got the Bible resources and audio Bibles to next generation. So this kid is off in a jungle region, and he doesn't have the Bible or Bible resources. He might not even be saved. He might be the son of a Muslim person who's working in these village areas, creating the dirt roads that go into this place. And because of these kids, because of your work, getting me the audio Bibles to them, to the next generation, these kids can grow in Jesus, and you'd be surprised what these kids can turn into. A lot of this world looks at kids on the other side of the world, and they're like, oh, they're not important, or they're not smart, or they're not rich. What can they do? But it's amazing how I've found movers and shakers in Indonesia that have done a great job. And I say to them, this is so cool, like, where'd you come from? And this is the picture of what they point to. This is how they started. And I wondered, how did this progress? How did you live through all this stuff and work through all this stuff and continue to help people like you're doing now? And they said, because we once had a missionary, came to our village, and they were able to give us Bibles, and they were able to give us Bible stories to our youth leaders. And they taught us, and we just love it, and we continued to grow in Jesus, which then taught us how to read the Bible, and then we were able to go to school and to learn and to grow. And now, when it comes to a decision time when we do get finances from the government, from the location, we don't just take it and steal it like all the other people in our village, but we actually do what's right with it. And once they find out that we're doing what's right with the finances, and we're actually building the roads we need, or trying to repair the houses that are in disrepair, then the government tends to give us more money to handle to try to fix things and make things better. And the only way we knew that is because we read your Bible when we were kids, and we were taught about Jesus. And now the kids don't even have to be able to read. They can just push play and listen to it on their own. So legacy does not have to be how you start. You can choose to make it about how you finish. So even some of you in this room right now, most of you, all of you, I don't know. Some of you may be thinking, okay, well, when do I start this legacy thing? Because I haven't done a good job up until this point, sort of thing. Well, that's why you can still start now, because we all remember the different books of the Bible in the New Testament written by the Apostle Paul. We're like, oh yeah, great guy, did good ministry and stuff. But we don't remember the persecutor named Saul. So you can see at some point, he went from Saul the persecutor, bunch of bad stuff, to Paul the apostle, Paul the disciple. And so he left a legacy that was important and amazing, not because he started good, but because he ended good. 1 Corinthians 11:1, and you should imitate me just as I am, there's the Apostle Paul saying, and you should imitate me just as I imitate Christ. We don't drift into a great legacy, we decide into a great legacy. So we have a legacy, and we're thinking, oh, I'm just hoping that when I leave this world that my kids, my uncles, my neighbors, saved or unsaved, that they kind of remember some good stuff I did and it helps them, you know. That's not a best way to leave the legacy. Legacy is to decide into it, to decide what am I going to do from today going forward to help my neighbor who's not saved, or my brother or cousin, my uncle, my brother who's not saved. What am I going to do as a setting example for them to be able to see that when I'm gone, they realize and say, you know what? He was silly, or he was this, or he wasn't good with sports, but he loved Jesus. And that's what I want as well. Something to that degree. So, 1 Timothy 4:12, what do I have for you today? Here is an example, 4:12. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity. So we could go on for hours about what we need to leave for the next generation. But I want to leave you one specific example of that. So this thing is called VidAngel, and the neat thing about it is whatever you stream through it, you can set the settings on it to remove cursing or blasphemy, swear words, sex scenes, nudity, all this stuff. And you can just watch the story and the movie for what it is. So I think a lot of us, it would be great if none of us had to struggle with that. But this is America, and we do know that we struggle with it, and we have to decide, as followers of Jesus, what are we going to do? The perfect answer is, we're just going to stay away from all that stuff, not watch anything ever again. That's not realistic, though, is it? No. We have our favorite shows on Netflix and stuff, and you're probably hoping that I finish preaching soon so that you can get home and watch some of those things that are recorded. So, my suggestion to you is upload this to your phone, TV, computer, and what you do is whatever you watch that streams through it will cut out those scenes. You can choose what you want on the file. If your kids are watching, of course, even kids shows and some weird stuff comes up on certain kids shows and stuff, and you can mark it so that they remove that, so it's just the storyline. So this is how we can promote purity for the next generation. Don't get them into it to start with. And when we, our next generation, are exposed to a lot of the stuff on TV, internet that's terrible, immoral, they'll know the difference between your lifestyle of following Jesus and staying pure, and they'll know the difference between the lifestyle of the people who are on these shows and these TV movies that have a terrible lifestyle and how they decide to indulge in the wickedness. So they'll be able to see, yes, I saw all this bad stuff, but now they have that decision to make and say, you know what? I saw this was a good example. I want this. And that requires me to go this way. I see their example in this, and although this looks good, I can see that it's a terrible way to live. I'll pass. I'll go back over here. So for example, one of the things that helped me with staying pure with morality online, all this stuff, is my dad. My dad, Walter and Diane, also great missionaries. They're great. I'm not great. They're great missionaries with this church, and they've been doing it for so long, and they're fantastic. I've never seen my dad look at any magazine or anything online that's ever been questionable or bad or anything along that. And so that is an amazing quality to have, which I see him do that and realize, you know what? If I'm looking at stuff online, looking at stuff in movies that's bad, I realize that my dad doesn't do it. I should be more like him and help switch over to that. But how many times do scenes in movies, things come up that we're trying to always, oh wait, I'll just fast forward it. Yeah, too late, you've already seen it. How do you know to fast forward it? You've seen it and already missed that line drawn in the sand. Anyway, so this is something that's on my phone, so I don't want to watch stuff unless it goes through this, and cut out all the scenes. Of course, I have to be careful to recommend movies or shows to people now, because the show I see, some movies are like 2 hours long, and the show I see is an hour long. And yeah, you're laughing because you know why. And so I'm like, hey, this was a great movie, and then they're going to watch it going, Ron, this was a terrible movie. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. So be careful what movies you recommend to other people, because you don't know what's being cut out. But for you, it'll be safe. Here's my dad. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Here's my dad. No, I'm just kidding. There's nice people. Great photo. So what Jesus does is, this is what the first generation looked like of people without Jesus. They would have these bows and arrows, and they would go from one village to another village, slaughter the men, kidnap the women, burn the houses down. Then they would run back to their village, and then they would hide there and live in fear, knowing that this guy's village, he has brothers and uncles and nephews and nieces too that are all angry, and they're going to come kill them. So before Jesus, we have fear, we have violence, we have kidnapping, all this bad stuff. But then we are able to get the missionaries to come along, and the missionaries worked with the people who had good hearts in these areas, that they got saved, and they began to set an example in their culture to change from people like this into people like this. to where now the fathers live longer because they're not killing each other, they're not being killed. The birth expectancy is higher now. Many of their children still do die because of lack of medical and health, but now they have more children in the families. And this is just because of what Jesus did, being inserted into one of these legacy areas. And so now I work with a generation of people who are descended, or the next generation of people who their parents got saved. And so now, because of their parents, that their parents' work they did in this distant village jungle that, we'll never see on the news or ever even hear about, because of what their parents did, they left a legacy for their kids, and now I'm working with their kids to be able to get Bible resources to these villages. So this guy here is named Melky. He's the one on the left. He is one of the guys that I'm working with. He is the son of one of the tribal people that became a missionary. So the tribal guy that got saved became a missionary to another village. So this is his son, and he has a passion for Jesus and taking this stuff on to others. Why am I telling you this? Because of the importance of the legacy, that I get an easy job of working with guys like this who are on the same note, who are ready to take the gospel far and wide. Not because of what I've done or because of what people have done here and there, but because of what his parents decided to do and left that legacy of loving Jesus on to the next generation. And now it's just flourishing. So some people have already, some of the last generation has already passed away. So they'll never see a picture like this to see what their legacy has left. And that'll be the same for you as well. You'll never know necessarily what legacy what the amazing impact that you've left in your legacy for the next generation that comes along, because kids might seem bad now, or they're not getting it. Oh, I keep telling them they're not getting it, they're not getting it. At some point, even when we're passed away, we're gone. At some point, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, the next generation, it clicks. And they go, that's what they had, that's what I want. And from then on, their lives are changed, not because something they saw on TV necessarily, but because something they remember from you. So your impact can be huge. So come check out our table over here, sign up for newsletters and stuff, stay afterwards for some fun game and ministry stuff. And before I leave, I want to leave you with this one last thought. There's no success without a successor. I love this phrase. So I want to encourage you guys to know what you're doing, what ministry you're doing right now is amazing. It's good. It's great. Keep doing it. But I want to encourage you to where when you move to a different location, move on to a different ministry area, retire, whatever it may be, I encourage you to have already trained the next person to be able to take over your vision and your ministry for whatever it may be. We got people visiting people in prisons. We got people visiting doing discipleship groups. We have ladies doing a ladies discipleship group with the girls from the college and stuff like that. So whatever it is that you're doing that you know, hey, I like this ministry, I enjoy this, I want to do it, encourage you to get someone else too to come along with you so that when you're gone, the ministry continues on without any ripples or without any stops in that there. So with me, I'm doing missions, honestly, we could die any day basically over there. But I'm trying to train the Papuans, the Indonesians, to be able to get a passion for what I have and to work with them so that when I'm gone, they don't say, oh, ministry was so good, and then, Ryan did ministry so good until he left, and then everything fell apart because Ryan's awesome. And then in the end, yeah, sure. They're like, oh yeah, Ryan was awesome, good. But is that a successful ministry though? No, it's not, because it fell apart when the guy was gone. So I want to encourage you to not do it that way, but to do it the way where you're doing such good ministry that when you pass away, move on, that people don't even notice you're gone because you did such a good job passing it on to someone else to take your place. So I'm trying to train the next generation, and I'm working on my kids too. I got my kids out there playing with the neighbors and the other kids in the community, passing out gifts and Bibles to the kids and helping pull the tracks in their little wagon there. My oldest, 8 years old, pulls her little wagon with the tracks in there. And then we go around, pass out gospel tracts. We put candy on it. The kids love it, eat it up. And it's just neat to know that my little girl can realize, you know what? This ministry is fun. I like this. I could do this. I want to do this. And just to be able to put that spark in her is then successful. Because when I'm gone, if she does a better job than me and people go, wow, Ryan was good, but you are so much better. That's what I want to be able to hear, because then that means the ministry was successful. And that's kind of the example and encouragement I want to give to you guys, to be able to know whatever you're doing, don't just one day quit, but make sure you have someone to take over after you. So thank you very much. Let us close in prayer. And while I do that, if I can ask the praise team to come up to the front. Dear God, thank you for this day and for all that you do for us. Thank you for your love and kindness and the nice weather out today, and also the ability to be able to come to see different people in church and how we can help minister to them, and who needs more help, who needs help outside of church, and just how we can be a benefit to them. And also, God, I pray that you'd be able to touch everyone's hearts in this room, to be able to be encouraged to leave a great legacy for the next generation, a legacy built on loving Jesus, and how they can leave that legacy for the next generation to say, Jesus is what I want, and I want to be able to leave Jesus to the generation after me. So we love you, God, and we praise you, and we thank you for this day and for all that you do for us and the purpose you give us, and we pray that you would give that same kind of purpose and joy to the next generation as well. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.